It's a beautiful, beautiful time at the IMO headquarters. This is a time where Kenya is seeking to be elected 2020-2021 biannual IMO Council, and in category C. Kenya has got a lot to bring in the table for the IMO, and we would want to feel the people who came here today, what is their opinion about Kenya seeking to be elected for the IMO category C? Let's find out.
We would like to welcome you to Kenya's reception, recognize the Secretary General of IMO, the Chair of Council, my colleague, permanent representatives, ambassadors, High Commissioners, senior officials. Welcome to this Kenya reception.
It is a great honor for us to host you and reaffirm our commitment to work with the IMO and by extension to all of you as the international maritime community in the facilitation of safe, secure, and efficient international shipping, particularly on the eastern seaboard of Africa. We've had a long tradition of seafaring spanning hundreds of years. We host major maritime trading routes and tanker routes between Europe, the Far East, and the Americas. And we are an important gateway, serving a combined population of over 300 million people who all rely on our international ports. We've been a member of IMO for the last 42 years and have been humbled to serve as a member of your council from 2001. We've also worked with you in improving IMLI, the World Maritime University, and for which we are entirely grateful. Indeed, Kenya is aware and greatly appreciates the huge role that the maritime sector plays in the socio-economic fabric of society, not just in our region, but in the entire global maritime community in general. It is against this belief that Kenya hosted the global community for the first ever global conference, that is the Global Sustainable Blue Economy Conference last year in November, when the world converged in Nairobi, and a lot of you were there. Kenya delivered this landmark conference under the theme of the blue economy and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which was broken down into 9 distinct but mutually reinforcing sub-themes. The conference managed to deliver a total number of 191 commitments, categorized into 10 thematic areas, namely plastics and waste management, smart shipping, port improvement and the global community, marine and water resources protection, biodiversity and climate change, technical assistance and capacity building, and fisheries development and inclusivity. Some of the key messages from the conference included the importance of the promotion of action-oriented global strategies that place people and the blue economy resources at the center of sustainable development as a contribution to the realization of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, promoting the role of women in the blue economy and identifying the barriers and opportunities to further empower women and encourage their roles in position of leadership. But most important, recognizing that gender equality and the empowerment of women will build a more peaceful, inclusive, and prosperous world. The other message was the need to strengthen science and research to generate and disseminate evidence-based knowledge and information on advancing the sustainable blue economy. And finally, strengthening governance mechanisms for a sustainable blue economy, including by raising awareness and ensuring stakeholder participation in policy and decision making. Distinguished delegate, Kenya continues to partner with IMO in several programs, including but not limited to the MOU on Regional Presence Office for Eastern and Southern Africa, which office has been very active in the coordination and delivery of IMO ITCP programs in the region, an example being concerted efforts to assist the federal government of Somalia establish a Somali Maritime Administration. Kenya also hosts the MTCC Africa Capacity Building for Climate Change Mitigation in the maritime shipping industry. And we also last week, as late as last week, hosted a very successful maritime regional meeting on capacity building coordination for enhanced maritime security in the Western Indian Ocean and Gulf of Aden under the Djibouti Code of Conduct and Ginger amendments. As you are aware, ladies and gentlemen, the Djibouti Code of Conduct is the only platform in our region for fighting piracy and other criminal activities. And for this reason, Kenya remains committed to cooperate with all the members of the Code and the global community to ensure that piracy remains dormant as it has been in the last 3 years continuously, when there hasn't been a single successful ship hijack in the region. As a country, we remain committed to the ideals of IMO and will continue working closely with the IMO Secretariat and the global community on matters pertaining not just to the region, but also to the interests of global shipping. And we wish, therefore, to reiterate and affirm these commitments for the foreseeable future. In conclusion, Kenya reaffirms her commitment to the goals and objectives of this organization, and it is for this reason that we are hereby seeking the support of all of you for re-election to the Council under Category C next week. And therefore, when I was shaking your hands, a few of you are cold, and I think we need to warm you up with some food and some Kenyan dancing.
Talk to me how you feel about today, Kenyan hosting this lunch and Kenya for the IMO Category C. What is your take?
No, it's amazing reception. This is my second time in Kenya reception, and I'm learned to the spectacular show. And thank you so much, Kenya, for to share this excellent reception.
And you, of course, you're looking very good, and we are hosting the Kenyan lunch. What is your take about this? Kenya is seeking to be elected for the IMO Category C. What is your feelings about that?
Kenya doesn't have to worry. They're in. Yeah. No, it's a given, and we'll give support to Kenya. It's very important for Kenya to be represented and also to be a member of the IMO Council. I think you might know that we are one of those countries from the continent that are not fully represented within the structures of the IMO. So it's very important for Kenya to be elected as a member of council. But not only that, it's more. There's more to that. It's not only council, but we would like to encourage more African countries not only to come to the IMO, to come and actively participate at the IMO.
Fantastic, and this is what we've been looking for, the good news. We are hoping that next week we'll be talking about Kenya has gone back in Category C IMO, because what they're bringing on the table, it's needed not only by the continent but by the whole world, because Kenya sits strategically as a very good servant to the IMO and especially even in the council.
Kenya being the biggest economy in East Africa brings a lot to the table. I mean, you know, you go to Mombasa. I mean, the issues of the green economy was held in Kenya, and so Kenya spearheaded the conversation in promoting the green economy, and as such, Liberia intend to stand with Kenya for re-election to council on a category C.
For us to effectively achieve the blue economy initiative, you know, you cannot be alone, or you cannot play the ball alone. You have to be with other key stakeholders, and hence for us to be in the IMO category C and also seeking re-election, it puts Kenya above the rest. And you know, in category C, out of the countries in Africa that we have around 52, we are only 5. So this is something that we cannot let it go. It is going to give us a continued opportunity, stamping our authority when we mix around with the big boys in category A and B. Yeah,
Fantastic,
thank you.
fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic. Thank you. And your office here, you're saying your hope for next week is Kenya is in.
Yes, exactly, we are in. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no, you know, we're looking forward for that news because we do believe that Kenya has a lot to bring to the IMO, and already it plays such a big role to make sure that the region and even the rest of the world is covered when it comes to the region. IMO in Kenya has been given such a big push by the government, and that's why you see even a reception like today being hosted and all the countries coming in. The number is huge, saying they're all very enthusiastic to see what Kenya has and what Kenya is bringing and what Kenya has brought for those many years. So we are looking forward for another 2 years because we know this is going to be a success.